Head of school at Augusta Prep. I'm very proud to serve the community in my second year. I had a great welcome a year ago to a hurricane and a natural disaster that we have all recovered from in a great way in Augusta. I also know that many of you have made a comment of just how much campus has changed. And yes, we want you to walk amongst campus. This evening, if you're really curious, you pull me aside and you say, I want to go into that new Giles Institute, I will take you through there. It is an amazing space for teaching and learning. And that is built by this community in their generosity and their flip. You also came in and saw a brand new front entrance. I had the great joy of a parent coming up to me and saying, you know what, the school's entrance feels now like it matches the actual campus itself. And I really believe that. It's very genuine. It's great to see alumni. It's great to connect with you and to know who you are. And I hope that you have the honor of coming back and continuing the celebration of being alumni with us, as well as meeting family members of yours and how they're coming back to celebrate you being members of the Hall of Champions. A really unique hallway that, again, you have to walk down and see. I bid you welcome to Augusta Preparatory Day School and the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I welcome not only faculty and staff, but family. I welcome friends, coaches, even former administrators back to campus. And of course, alumni joining us. We celebrate this induction not only of separate individuals, but even as teams, and what you accomplished as teams. In the efforts of becoming an honored member of this community, please know that when you walk these halls, your names will be forever indelibly marked on our wall. As you were impactful not only in a school community, you were impactful at state level. The state of Georgia recognizes you for the honors, successes, and accolades that you achieved. And when I look back at my own high school career, my own career as an athlete, these are the fondest moments to remember. The moments coming back to hear stories of what it was like, not in the actual event, but in the locker room, or on the field, or the track, or the gymnasium before the game. Knowing the athletes that were amongst you, and how you helped elevate people around you. You may have been the one with the greatest talent in the room, but you didn't stop there. It was the work ethic and your attitude that brought you forward, that raised you up, that gave you the honors of all sports, or state head. As we celebrate your success tonight, I hope you do walk amongst the locker room and amongst the fields and the gymnasium. This evening, I look forward to hearing the stories, the challenges, the joyful celebrations you faced as you made an impact on our community. To lead us through this evening, I welcome to the stage for the induction celebration our athletic director, Dr. Rory Brett. Please welcome Rory.
We're starting off better because 2 years ago during this, I tripped going up those steps and almost fell down on my face. So, hey, we're ahead. We're doing great. I want to welcome everybody and thank our committee for the work that they did. Rich Bland, who's in the Hall of Fame, was a volleyball coach here for 100 years. Numerous Final Four, regional titles, state championships. Tom Holliday doesn't need any introduction, but Tom also on our committee and a Hall of Fame member himself. It's always interesting when the Hall of Fame is named after somebody in the room, but Steve Boyd, he was also part of the committee and did a great job. Chris Gay, our Director of Communications, was also part of the process along with Eric Ettinger, our head of school. Before we get started, we have a special presentation real quick. So Steve Boyd, for the past 2 weeks, has been signing his signature on a sheet of paper, not knowing what we were doing. And if you look on your program, you see the signature there, and that's not the purpose for why we had him sign. We had him sign because we are honoring him with one more great memory. I think that'll last a lifetime. And if Eric will show the Boardman Gym forever will be now known as the Boardman Gym in Steve Boyd Court. And we're in the process right now of having a sign made up for that. If you've not been in that gym has a rubber floor on it that we've had some people mention, why don't you have wood in there? Well, we do a lot of events in there, and so it's not the best idea to have a wood floor. So we've actually painted it, and it looks really nice if you have a chance to walk in there. You'd be surprised if you can paint paint rubber like that, but it's actually like a Teflon garage paint that's on that floor. And so we're going to have a sign put in there. So Steve, my honor and privilege to let you know that Steve Whitford in All right, so the first induction is of the 2017 Boys Cross Country team. And we have Tom Holodeck, who's going to come on stage for us. Tom, of course, our former athletic director, cross country coach, and track and field coach. He's the athletic director from 2002 to 2019. And he was the head track coach and cross country coach during that time. Also, he is our track complex is named after Tom as well. And I'd like to call Tom to the stage to talk about our cross country.
Good evening. The 2017 season was a magical one for this group of young men. The squad consisted of 6 juniors, 12 underclassmen, and no seniors. Under the leadership of Colin Bertram and Dalton Lott, they helped set the table of what was expected and a commitment to excellence. Our season actually started on June 1st with a laid out plan of summer mileage that would provide all the runners with a strong base leading up to our tempo runs, mile repeats, and hill workouts. The previous 7 years of the program had produced some very strong teams that just fell short of the ultimate goal of a state championship. And this group of men were bound and determined to change that and to be able to hoist that gold trophy. Cross country is a sport that requires the runners to navigate a 5,000-meter course. And every course is very different, unlike a football field, tennis court, or a basketball court. They sprint out to start and then have to navigate hills, sharp turns, tough footing on the trails through the woods, and then a sprint to the finish. I've mentioned many a time that cross country is the toughest sport. There are no timeouts, no half times, no water breaks. It's you against the course where mind games can play with even the best. Usually the crowds are cheering are only at the start and the finish. The question is, who is going to be the toughest that day for 15 to 19 minutes where your heart is pounding in your chest, your legs are aching, you have a stitch in your side, and you have one more tough hill and another mile to go. No pain, no gain. All of our meets and workouts throughout the season are carefully planned to each runner to peak at the right time and run their best when it counts the most at state. We had 6 regular season meets throughout Georgia and South Carolina, running against the best competition to prepare us mentally and physically for a very difficult state course that we knew that was going to be very, very hard. So what we try to do is prepare everybody mentally and physically for that day in Athens on that late October morning. There weren't going to be any PRs on this course, and the team had the toughest 7 runners was going to win the championship. Even though only 7 runners compete on race day, every team member contributed to our team's success with the long runs, hill repeats, and mile repeats. Every runner pushes each other in every workout and is there for each other when someone has a tough day during a workout or doesn't race well on a given meet. These guys were ready, and it was very rewarding to see our top 7 destroy the difficult course in the competition. We had our top 7 runners in before all the other schools fought the 5th runner. I'm going to ask, we have some that aren't here today, but as I call your name, please come up, and then I still have a few more things to talk about. First, we had Jack Collier, All-State, 4th place finisher. Colin Bertram, All-State, 7th place finisher. Trey Farmer, All-State, 8th place finisher. Alex Schmuck, 12th place. Colin Schmuck, 15th place. Carla Bratz, 19th. Golden Lodge, 21st. Ray Harvey, Brian Chang, Kevin Chang, Nathan Kohler, Hayes Morley, Josh Krause, Eric Henson, William Mayfield, Patrick Murphy. Every member of this squad contributed to this state championship, and no team wins a championship without a great supporting cast with their coaches. My 2 assistant coaches, Tammy Lee Lloyd, who's here tonight, and Mary Claire Regan, were there every step of the way with helping all the workouts that were recorded, cheering the team, getting mile splits on the course, and being there to console the runner that had a bad day or a bad race. It was a total team effort from top to bottom, and then every individual that helped to provide not only a state championship, but more importantly, some great friendships and lifelong memories that will never be forgotten. Be remiss if I didn't mention, and of course we have one member of the girls team that year, Jamie Holodak, that when we worked out, both squads worked out together. They were all broken into groups according to level, and so the girls were pushing the boys, and the boys were pushing the girls. So they both helped contribute, both of them, to both of those championships that year. We also have someone in the crowd here who was an icon here as an athletic trainer for us, Bonnie Messner. She was here in many ways, helping all of our athletes at different times throughout their career, even though she's at Augusta University now. And I'll be trying to remember now that I'm getting kind of old of where she was at that point. But obviously, Bonnie, definitely there's a lot of TLC that she gave our runners and every athlete that she dealt with here throughout her career at this school. Ladies and gentlemen, this cross-country team is now literally a cross-country squad with team members that have now stretched out to 9 states, to include Georgia, Colorado, North Carolina, New York, Virginia, Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, and South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017 state championship team, and now Hall of Famers. I will ask that all the team members at the end, at the conclusion of the ceremony today, we have certificates to give each of you, and I believe one of captains is going to say a few words. And I'm sure there might be a few others who might want to say something.
One second, I have to pull up my phone too. I'm speaking for adult line. Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be here tonight representing the 2017 Augusta Prep Boys Cross Country team. I also had the privilege of serving as co-captain that year alongside Dalton Lott, who unfortunately couldn't be here this evening, but has sent along a few words that I'll share on his behalf. The 2017 season was everything our team hoped for. Truly, it was a comeback year. For several of us, that season was fueled by our performance at the 2016 state meet. That year, our team finished third, a result that we were proud of, but one that left us hungry for more, to become state champions. The 2017 will always be remembered as one defined by dedication, consistency, and commitment. The values that became the foundation of our success that year. From our summer running regimen to the hot practices, early mornings, bus rides, and countless miles, this team set itself apart through sheer effort and determination. Another thing that made this group so special was our depth. We welcomed new additions to the team that year that strengthened our roster and reinforced what cross country is truly about, that every runner matters. In this sport, it is not just about who crosses the line first, but how the entire team comes together to finish strong. All the work we put in before and during the season led to something incredible. The first time came at regionals, where all 7 of our runners finished in the top 10. Then came the state meet, where every ounce of training paid off. Both the boys and the girls team captured the state title that day, making it a clean sweep for Augusta Prep. And finally, what truly set this team apart was Coach Holiday. He was the driving force behind all of those values. Coach didn't just stand at the finish line. He was out on the course with us, pushing us when there was little left in the tank. Our first place finish at state is just as much a reflection of his leadership and belief in us as it is of every runner that season. In all, the 2017 season was everything that I hoped it would be and more. And I couldn't have asked for a better coach or a better group of teammates to share with me. So now some words from Dalton Lott. I wish I could be there in person tonight, but I'm incredibly honored to have our 2017 Augusta Prep Boys Cross Country team inducted in the Hall of Fame. That season will always stand out as one of the best times of my life, not because of any single race or trophy, but because of the people and the moments that made it what it was. When I look back, it's funny. The miles, the medals, all started to blur together. But what sticks are the moments in between. The early morning bus rides, where we were somehow both half asleep and overly tired. The questionable pre-race meals, and the inside jokes that still make no sense to anyone else. And of course, Coach Holiday. He called us horses. It was fitting, we ran hard, acted ridiculous, and ate everything in sight. But while still getting us to give our best. He could crack a joke right before a race and somehow make us all run faster. What stands out most to me is how much we pushed and supported each other. Everyone showed up, worked hard, and kept the energy light, no matter how tough it got. We owe a huge thank you to our coaches and our parents for all the early mornings, the long drives, and the constant encouragement. You gave us the chance to do something we'll never forget, and somehow you even forgave us for the occasional team experiment gone wrong, like the time we microwave soap and, well, learned a valuable lesson about what not to do with the microwave. To my teammates, thank you for making every practice and race something to look forward to. You turned miles into mid-race, and that's what made our team special. We may not have known it then, but that season shaped us, and I'd run those miles all over again, blisters and all. Thank you.
to introduce Dr. Dale Schmuck to the Steve Boyd Hall of Fame. I first met Dale about 12 years ago when he was a parent volunteer at a middle school cross-country home meet. But Dale had already made a name for himself many years before I met him. In 2006, Dale was inducted into the Tribe of Vikings Hall of Fame at Augustana College in Rock Island, Illinois. Dale knew only one way to compete, and that was hard. He brought an energy to the wrestling match, whether it be practice or competition. He graduated from Cambridge High School in Illinois in 1979 as a state champion. When he graduated from college in 1983, he was a, not one, not two, three-time NCAA Division III All-American. During his junior and senior years, Dale won a combined 73, 5, and 1 with third-place finishes at the national tournament. Dale was a competitor in the truest sense of the word. What he lacked in style and technique, he made up for on sheer will and determination. Dale was also a member of the football team and competed in track and field as a decathlete. The same attitude that made him such a tremendous athlete also carried over into life. He graduated with degrees in biology and secondary education. He earned a PhD in physiology from the University of South Alabama in 1990, and in 1992, he received his MD. He was given a fellowship in vascular surgery from the University of South Florida in 2002. He was board certified vascular surgeon and also certification in general surgery and trauma critical care, specializing in burns. A quote from an old teammate, Chris Casey: Dale led by example and did what he encouraged others to do. I met Dale my first week of school and became fast friends and roommates the rest of our college careers. He hit the books as hard as he hit the mat in gym. During high school, he lived on a farm and would run to and from school daily with his books in his backpack. He was so explosive on his feet, and he had a single leg attached that was almost unstoppable. From Coach Riccio. That was my very first recruit at college. It got down to us in Iowa, and Dale told me that he was probably going to go to Iowa. I figured I had nothing to lose, so I told him that he wasn't good enough to wrestle at Iowa. Eventually, he decided to come to Augustana. A couple years later, he asked me, "You remember when you asked me, wasn't I good enough to wrestle at Iowa?" I said, "Yes." "And was I right?" He said, "Yeah, but you didn't have to tell him that." Before you know it, Dad was doing more than just working at a middle school cross-country meet. Soon enough, he was helping at all cross-country meets, middle school and varsity, helping with the football program, and eventually the track and field program. I was in need of another varsity coach and developing some pole vaulting. In no time, he was working and recruiting kids and working with athletes on weekends and during the summer. Pole vaulting is probably the most difficult event in track and field. He did research on his own and worked tirelessly with any student athlete that was willing to put forth the effort. Before we knew it, we had some region pole vault champions and eventually a state champion. And his contribution to the program helped Prep produce the first team state championship in track and field with the women's program, where we went 1-2 in the pole vault to state meet and destroyed the state competition with 160 points. Dale also spent a couple years in an attempt to develop a wrestling program here at Prep and has worked with numerous student athletes in the Metroplex, some of which have won state championships. From the Backyard Bullies. Dale is an invaluable asset to our wrestling club, serving as a mentor and guiding light for young athletes in the CSRA. With a remarkable commitment of over 8 hours each week dedicated to the community program, his impact is profound and far-reaching. Having him as a coach has opened doors to countless opportunities for growth and development. His extensive knowledge of wrestling is matched only by his understanding of the challenges young people face as they transition into adulthood. Whether he's refining techniques on the mat or offering sage advice on life's hurdles, Coach Dale is always ready to lend his wisdom. The community is truly fortunate to have such a dedicated figure among us. He is, without a doubt, a hidden legend whose influence will be felt for years to come. More importantly, I'm honored and blessed to have had the opportunity to get to know Dale on a personal note and to call him a true friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Dale Schmuck.
Yeah, I gotta meet that guy who's talking. Look, he really pumped it up really well.
All true.
Look, I'm very simple. I have a simple philosophy. You work hard, you set high goals, you make the training for those goals challenging. You're a winner. I always felt it. You know, the goals that some of these kids that I've been blessed to train were very high. Now, I am a very demanding coach. No doubt. I'm loud, I'm obnoxious, but the kids, they respond to it. I've been blessed to have kids that at this school and elsewhere that they make me look good. That's it's not my coaching. I'm just putting a little kick in the butt, and they're achieving what they have set. You know, we dream big and we train hard. That's always been our motto. That's been my motto. Coach Hollenbeck, he brought me up to help with the pole vault, and then the hurdlers, and then the sprints, and the high jump, the long jump. I am indebted to him. I really am. Not because of all the stuff that he said, but for meeting some very wonderful kids. I mean, the kids that I have trained are some of the best kids in the world. I've always felt that a good coach is somebody, a great coach is somebody who takes the average kid and makes him great. I'm not sure I'm that coach because I've had well above average kids. But I am proud of all the athletes that I have trained, every single one of them. I don't train and I don't emphasize winning. I emphasize competing. Because if you can compete at a high level, the winning will come. I've always believed that. Compete, and first and foremost, you compete with yourself. Coach Hollenbeck said I only had 5 minutes, so I think I'm running up to that. And I said, I don't even say hello in 5 minutes. But thank you. And thanks to the committee for inducting me to this. I'm very honored. Thank you.
All right, next we have the induction of Jamie Holiday, and she's going to be presented by Tammy Lloyd, her former coach. Tammy Lee was the assistant varsity cross-country track coach here at Augusta Prep. She served as Augusta Prep school nurse for close to 20 years, and she also coached middle school cross-country and girls basketball. Please welcome Ms. Tammy Lee Lloyd.
I can see over the edge, so that's good. Okay. Hi, my name is Tammy Lee Lloyd. I taught, loved, coached, cared for, and learned from students here at this school for 22 years. The Stephen Brooks Boyd Hall of Fame seeks to honor outstanding student athletes, and I have one to tell you about. Jamie Holiday, a proud member of the APDS class of 2018, was a stellar three-sport athlete. Her upper school basketball coach, Myron Hunt, had this to say about her. Jamie Holiday is a standout high school basketball player. Her exceptional talent and impact on the game is what separated her from others on and off the court. Known for her scoring ability and relentless work ethic, Jamie was one of the best to ever wear the Lady Cavs basketball uniform. Jamie was a 1,000-point scorer while also earning all-region and all-state honors in her career. This induction recognizes not only her impressive stats, but also her dedication, sportsmanship, and the inspiration she provided to her teammates and the younger girls in the program she helped to build. Jamie, thank you for your hard work and dedication to the greatest game in the world. Also, thank you for hitting those 7 3-pointers against Westfield to put us into the state tournament. And the bank shot heard round the world at the spaghetti dinner. I know Coach Wilson still has nightmares because of you. Congratulations again. Love you, little Holiday. Now, many of you may remember or were introduced tonight to Jamie's high school cross-country and track and field coach, the notorious OG, famed AD, Tom Holiday. He also happens to be Jamie's dad. Now, this presents a whole host of concerns for some programs, but not in this case. These two share a unique relationship that frequently left me in stitches and frankly still does. Coach Holiday responded to my request for a list of Jamie's accomplishments in what he believes to be the best sport in the world with the following, and believe me, I have cut the link a little bit for brevity. You know how he is. Jamie was a 5-time varsity letter earner in cross country. All region in cross country, 8th through 12th grade. All state in cross country, 8th through 12th grade. Cross country MVP, 8th, 12th grade. She received athlete spotlight recognition for cross country in 9th and 12th grade. She was the individual region champion in cross country, 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. Jamie held the APDS school record in cross country until the 2024 season. Jamie was a member of the 2017 state champion team. Spring at APDS saw this young athlete tear up the track with the following honorable achievements. Jamie earned a letter in track and field in grades 8 through 12. She holds the APDS school record as a member of the 4x400 meter and the 4x800 meter team. She also holds the school record in the following individual events: the 800 meter, the 1600 meter, and the 3200 meter. She was region champ for track and field in the 1600 meter in 8th, 9th, 11th, and 12th grade, in the 3200 meter as a freshman, and in the 800 meter meter her entire high school career. Ann was a member of the region championship 4x400 meter relay team for junior and senior years. Jamie was the AAA state champion in the 800 meter, 1600 meter, 3200 meter, and on the champion 4x400 meter team for junior year. She received the APBS Coaches Award in 8th and 10th grade, and the Track and Field MVP Award 9th, 11th, and 12th grades. As a junior, Jamie received the Games Award First Team in All Area Track and was High Point Athlete in the region meet in 2018. Jamie went on to Baylor University as a member of the Honors Program, where she made the 2019 Academic All Big 12 Rookie Cross Country Team and the 2019 Academic All Big 12 First Team in Cross Country, and the 2021 and 2022 Academic All Big 12 in Track. She received the Dr. Gerald Lake Academic Achievement Award. She was a member of the Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society and was published in the Journal of Environmental Health. Wow. All that is so impressive and would certainly qualify her for induction into this athletic hall of fame. But I want to share with you personally what I believe sets Jamie Holiday apart. It is her spirit of sportsmanship. Now, Oxford defines sportsmanship as fair, generous behavior or treatment of others in a sport contest. Well, let me tell you, Oxford didn't know the half of it. Jamie Holiday has always loved sport. I remember thinking the Dallas Cowboys missed an opportunity to bestow upon her Fan of the Year award. And she was only, at the time, a primary grade student. She had the big foam cowboy hat and the big #1 hand, and she was Tom's loyal sidekick on the couch watching the team play on television. As she dove into PE classes in lower and middle school, Jamie stood out as a fierce competitor with a strategic mind for every sport Coach Bailey introduced, and of course she excelled on the middle school sports teams. She joined the varsity cross country and track and field teams as an 8th grader, and quickly established herself as a dominant member of those teams. And don't get me started on work ethic. This gal was the first to arrive and the last to leave every practice. She was guts, guile, and gusto at all times, with a smile that lit the field in the dark. One more mile, one more review, one more cool down, one more ice bath. It was never too hot or too cold for practice. Over the years, Jamie developed an uncanny ability to lead and teach by example, but she also freely shared advanced strategic perspective with teammates that student athletes acquired while still in high school. I will leave you with this singular memory that repeated itself over and over. What I remember most about Jamie is the turnaround. It's a trait I've noticed only in a couple athletes I've been privileged to know. In basketball, it's kind of like clapping and cheering for your team from the bench when you're not playing. But in cross country, it's even more special and much more rare. Jamie Holiday, no matter how tough the course, how she plays, or how she personally felt about how she plays, would turn around as soon as she crossed the finish line and look for her teammates, so she could encourage them to climb that last hill at Spartanburg, or celebrate their new PR, or console them after they endured a difficult race. Never once did I see her dramatically fall to the ground after she crossed the line. She never looked for accolades or even turned inward. It was always all about team. It was the team, that being in relation with others, that seemed to mean the most to her. I will treasure that always. Being a part of something bigger than oneself is what will make this world a better place. And I know this much is true. I believe that is what called Jamie to the Peace Corps after her graduation from Baylor. This citizen of the world is actively working in relation with others to make the world a better place. And we are all fortunate to be in her orbit. Congratulations, Jamie, on this well-deserved honor, and thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Coach Lloyd, and good evening, everyone. I know everyone's heard the phrase, "it takes a village." For me, this rang especially true during my 2 years of Peace Corps service in Senegal. I lived in a village where neighbors and friends helped raise each other's children. You walked across the street unannounced to borrow a needed cooking utensil or an ingredient, and the entire village celebrated holidays and marriages, or even more, the loss of loved ones together. Though it may have looked a little different here than in Senegal, PrEP has been a supportive community and village that helped raise both me and my sister. I started coming here in preschool, which makes me a PrEP lifer. I grew up spending many summer days wandering the athletic buildings, trying to entertain myself and helping my dad clean gym lockers. Until I was able to drive, I came to school earlier than most students and was often one of the last few kids to be picked up at extended day. So I spent countless hours on this campus, have shot countless baskets in the gym, have run countless laps on the track and miles on the cross-country course, and PrEP means a lot to me and my family. I'm not sure I always was aware of how much PrEP meant to me, but it became especially apparent after my mom's accident 10 years ago. The PrEP community came together to support me and my family during that time. Whether it was staying with us those first few days at the hospital, checking in and making visits days and weeks after returning home, cooking meals, or even giving rides. It took a whole village to get over that hump. With that being said, I have many folks to thank tonight. While I'm being recognized for my accomplishments on the basketball court, cross-country course, and track, tonight is really about those who helped mold me into the athlete I've become, and more importantly, the young woman I've become. First off, I want to thank my coaches. Especially want to thank Coach Lloyd and Coach Isaac, who coached me in cross country and track, Coach Hunt, who coached me in basketball. These three were inspiring and motivating during practices and in competition, but most importantly, were incredibly supportive and invested in my life outside of the sport. Coach Lloyd, I know you know I love you, but I'm not sure how much you know I love you. Thank you for always being me and my sister's #1 fan. It means so much to have you introduce me tonight. Having Coach Isaac and Coach Lloyd together with my dad as my coaches was just so much fun. Coach Hunt, I'll always remember that spring break fishing trip I took with Coach Hunt and his family, the many rides he gave me to and from school, buying me breakfast biscuits, and all the hours I spent hanging out with his kids in the athletic conference room growing up. I'm so grateful that I still keep in touch with all these people. Coach Hunt and Coach Lloyd were some of the first people I saw after returning to the U.S. in June. And I even got to visit with Coach Isaac when I was in Denver later on in the summer. Now I know what you're thinking, there's one more coach I haven't mentioned yet, Coach Holodak. He also belongs in a different category, so I'll get there later. But I also wanted to thank all the teammates I've had throughout my time at PrEP, especially Molly Joseph. Molly was there by my side in all 3 sports in high school. We pushed each other to be better, but we also never took things too seriously and had so much fun. I hope Coach Hunt didn't lose too much sleep over our antics, including jumping into a freezing hotel pool during an away basketball game, and I can't wait to see Molly join my name on this fall someday. Colin Bertram and Dalton Lott were our partners in crime, and we made a pretty killer Marine Mud Challenge team. To my trainers that I was fortunate to have throughout my time at Pret, Bonnie and Emily, thank you for keeping me healthy. Pret was incredibly lucky to have those two during these years. Bonnie helped me through a knee injury in the middle of the basketball season my sophomore year. Somehow I was able to get back on the court in, I think, 6 weeks. It was a quick turnaround. Finally, I have some friends here that mean a lot to me and my family tonight. David and Virginia Thompson, Ellen Nesbitt, and Sue and Dave Zinga. These folks are family to us. They've been there for big games and cross-country and track meets, holidays, graduations, and most recently my sister's wedding. So thank you so much for being here tonight and being along my side for another big moment. Finally, my family. My big sister Jody, probably part of the reason why I got into the sports I ended up getting into was because of her. She was the best teammate during the 1 year we shared on the cross-country course and track as an 8th grader and senior. Some of my favorite memories came from times that we raced with each other. She was always so happy and proud of me, even when I beat her in most races. Finally, my mom and my dad, thank you for modeling for me how to be a great person, how to be a great teammate, sister, and friend. Thanks for not putting pressure on me for how I performed in the classroom and or in sports, but always supporting me in my decisions and celebrating my accomplishments. I'm so proud to call you both my parents. It's a unique experience to have your dad as your coach, one certainly worthy of being the topic of a senior speech, which my sister capitalized on before I got the chance. Dad, I'll always cherish the memories we made together during the 5 years you coached me. Most of all, I will always admire you for the incredible relationships you've built with your athletes, their families, and with other coaches. If I can make even half the impact you've made over the years as a coach, I'll be quite happy. There are many other folks at Prep I couldn't thank by name right now, but who have been a blessing to me in my life. It turns out Prep is a rather big village. But finally, I want to thank those who made this day possible, to